PG&E customer, you've probably noticed your bill's gone up, and not just once, but multiple times over the past few years. According to the Public Advocate's Office of the CPUC, the average home electricity rate went up 104% in the last 10 years. Last year alone, there were 5 rate increases. Most recently, this past September, rates went down by about 2% for the average household, which works out to about a $5 drop each month. What's behind some of the increases that we've seen in the past few years? Well, the money's been used for wildfire mitigation, infrastructure updates, state-mandated compliance for renewable energy and safety, and shareholder returns. Earlier this year, PG&E asked for permission to increase investor returns to more than 11%. And if approved, that would add about $5 to your bill, which many people do not want. And they are saying that loudly. There were 2 public hearings this afternoon in Fresno, giving people a chance to weigh in on PG&E's proposed rate increase. Fox 26 News reporter Myra Franco has more on the turnout and what people had to say. Myra?
Kim, they had a lot to say. The CPUC was right here in Fresno speaking directly with customers about PG&E's latest proposal. Now, many were against it, while just a few were in support of it.
I urge the Commission to be courageous and say no to these rate increases.
We would still stand in strong opposition of this rate increase,
because they say they're already paying more.
In July of 2023, my bill in Clovis was $198, hottest month of the year. The next year, July 2024, it was $598, at which point I started meeting with my legislators and with PG&E to try to figure out how is this happening.
He asked PG&E to inspect his meter, hoping it might explain the spike.
They came out and said, no, your meter is totally fine. That is a legitimate charge. How can that be?
And how, they ask, can PG&E justify another rate hike?
Is it appropriate for so few people to profit so tremendously off the backs of those who can little afford it?
But not everyone spoke out against the rate hike.
I'd like to speak today in favor of the PG&E rate increase.
We recognize and are happy to hear that the rates will remain steady in 2027.
These business representatives back PG&E's plan, calling it necessary and see it as an investment back into the community.
We are in support of the grid modernization and improvement efforts in PG&E's 27 rate case for the purpose of expanding infrastructure in critically needed areas, including ours.
However, they also support keeping the rates steady to grow the economy.
Rates are critical to continuing to attract businesses in our region, and we hope that the 2027 rate case can continue to be evaluated and result in a minimal impact to rates.
Several other speakers didn't address those rates directly, but did speak on how PG&E has given back to our community. Live in downtown Fresno, Myra Franco, Fox 26 News.
Myra, thank you. Now, PG&E filed this rate case back in May to raise $16.5 billion to improve system safety, reliability, and modernize the grid. If the CPUC approves it, the typical PG&E bill would go up around 3.5%. 2 years from now. And before that public hearing,
the utility money grab.
When do we want it?
Now!
Environmental and consumer advocates rallied outside the Hugh Byrne State Building in downtown Fresno. Holding signs, they urged the CPUC to reject the increase and called on state regulators to stop the stamp on rising utility bills. They say families are already facing high electricity bills as it is.
We are here in protest of yet another rate hike by PG&E, but we're also here to put a spotlight on the very bad habit that the Public Utilities Commission has of just rubber stamping every spending plan that PG&E brings to them. It is the job of the regulator to say no to the utility, make them find how to cut costs, not spend more.
Advocates say showing up at hearings is just one way for people to make their voices heard. They also encourage calling local and state elected officials. And now we would like to hear from you. Have you had to sacrifice anything in order to pay your PG&E bill? 56% say yes, 44% say no. Scan the QR code you see on your screen, or you can head to kmph.com/poll to add your vote. And stay with us. We will show you what people are saying in the next half hour.